everybody, this is Randy Wakeman. We're going to take a very brief look at a pre-production example of the new Remington V3 3-inch autoloader. And the dog wants to play, so we're going to put him in the SUV whether he likes it or not. Come on, buddy, load up. The V3 is about a 7¼ pound gun, give or take. Your choice of 28 or 26-inch rem choke barrels. The balance point on the gun is right in front of the receiver. I think it'll be a little more nicely balanced, certainly for pheasant hunting and the like, with a 26-inch barrel. But you can see the safety's extremely generous, easy enough to operate all the controls with gloved hands, which is exactly what I have. And the trigger guard is ample size to get your finger in and out with no problem. You could use a little cosmetic help here, but this gun is going to have a street price of about $750. So you can compare that to $1,100–1,200 for a matte finished plastic stock Browning Maxus with a 3-inch chamber, for example. So that would be one example of a competitive product. We'll take a few shots here, see how it does. We're going to start out with 1-ounce loads. That's the minimum load, 1 ounce on up. These are Federal Top Gun, 1180 feet per second. And see if it breaks some clays. And we'll move it up from there. Well, I'm going to keep breaking clays. It's a lot more fun that way. But I want to give you an idea of the aggressive ejection distance, even though these are 1 ounce, 1180 foot per second shells. So I'll break some clays, but you can watch the holes go flying. Very good positive ejection. So you can see that's very good. That's got to be 10 to 12 foot ejection. Kicks them right out, and that's with light loads. So there's no suspicion of a hang up or jam or soft ejection. Does a fine job, also does a fine job feeding. 1 ounce is the lower end of the spectrum. We'll step it up just a small amount, going with 1.125 ounce Federal Gold Medals. A little more substantial target load, and a great dove load for that matter. Alright, this is exactly what you wouldn't normally use to break a clay pigeon with. These are Federal Baby Magnums, 1.5 ounces of 4s. So things are going to get a lot louder. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on the camera or not. So that's about the highest intensity you're going to get out of a 2 3/4 inch load. And I think it'll still break clay pigeons, but let's find out. You can see the ejection distance is pretty consistent. We've got the 1 ounce loads at 1 ounce, 1.5 ounce loads doing about the same thing, and all the way up to 1.5 ounces. We're going a little farther out here, but just 2 to 3 feet more. So the secondary bleed in both of the gas chambers is doing a pretty good job, because the VersaPort system hasn't even kicked in yet, since we've got all 8 ports open. I might as well talk about how easy it is to take this gun apart, because there really isn't much to it, as you're going to see. Screw off the magazine cap, Off comes the forearm. There's the barrel. Not much to it. You can see the gas residue ends up right on the stainless steel magazine tube. So a quick wipe, and of course take care of your barrel, and you're good to go. The actual gas system itself really is self-cleaning. You don't get much going on there. So there's just not much to it when you're talking about reassembly. You can do it in your sleep. The other thing that people are going to appreciate about this gun is that the forearm is a little bit slimmer than on most gas-operated autoloaders. Certainly slimmer than the Versamax, but slimmer than a Winchester SX3, a Remington 1100, or a Browning Silver, Browning Gold. And it's also nice and tight. There's no rattle, there's no rolling, so it's a tighter forearm as well. Nice and snug, which most people prefer. So it's a rigid, solid-feeling forearm, more than you'd find on a Maxxis or even a Versamax, for that matter. So everybody's going to like that. Just for the fun of it, we'll break a few more clays, and that's about it. Street price on this gun, again, about $750. You go with the walnut or the camo, which I'll do, and I think most people would do. It's still only about $850. So you're looking at 25 to 35% below competitive models. And we'll see. I'll be out shooting it. I'll run 5 or 6 cases of shells through this pre-production model, but there's not even a suspicion of a malfunction, jam, or hang-up. So from what I see so far, it's perfectly reliable. I have no idea how long you can go without cleaning the thing if you really wanted to. You should certainly clean guns every time you shoot them, but there's no reason why a gun like this won't run 750,000 rounds without any hiccups, without any cleaning. So anyway, a few more shots and we'll wrap it up. What I'll do is throw a few holes to the camera so you can look at the gun movement, look at my face. That'll give you an idea of how soft shooting the Remington V3 really is. So this should give you some kind of idea. Not much to it. Don't feel a thing. Nothing on my face, nothing on my shoulder, and it kicks the holes right out. Nice job. Well, we're getting some snow, which was in the forecast. We'll break a few more clays, and that'll be it for at least the second outing, but the first video outing of the Remington V3. Not much to it. You can just barely feel the action working and the clay explodes. So it's just pretty nice. Hammers them well. Just a standard modified rem choke, which is what it comes with. Very popular choke. You can pick them up at every Walmart and every pro shop in the country, as far as I know. So, thanks for stopping by. It's a good look at the Remington V3 for starters. I think everybody's just going to want to have one or two of these things. I'm impressed with it, and the price point, it's really, really going to be difficult for people to ignore. Good trigger. A little extra initial take-up in this trigger, although Remington has already addressed that. There's going to be some initial take-up. They need enough room for the trigger to properly reset, but it ought to be significantly less than what I have here. The synthetic models, whether it's black synthetic or camo, you're going to have what most people are familiar with, the Supercell recoil pad, standard recoil pad on the walnut. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, because since there's no magazine tube or springs in the stock, pretty easy for Remington to offer a wide variety of models. And rumor has it a 20 gauge is in the works as well, although maybe not until next year. I have no idea. So again, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.